There was a countdown. There wasn't a countdown, but it is live, and it's Sam Thomas in the EuroAsia Scrum, and I'm still not wonderfully well, so I'm at home in bed. But let that not. Oh, that's the wrong thing. What should I share? I should share this screen over here, which is the screen that Thomas and I were just talking about. The Chalmers Innovation Centre near Thomas, and being a great place for innovation. So I'm very excited actually about you going out and interacting, because you're a fantastic ambassador for Agile Ventures, and yeah, I think we're getting to, I think there's still a lot that we want to improve, but I think just getting the word out is a big part of the importance of things at the moment.
I was thinking that if we have money, to finance our own meetup account, we can have meetups in over there and stuff. So I think it's,
right.
It's be a potentially good thing for us.
Indeed, yes.
Something similar as you did at Makers before, pair programming on location or remote. So yes.
Yes, I mean, I think if people are excited to do that, then that's it's all good. I mean, I sort of stopped bothering at Makers partly because I was just finding, I think, for the actual walk-in thing, there's a lot of overhead associated with managing people walking into the office, and I met a lot of people who kind of walked in, but then and spent a lot of time explaining Agile Ventures to them. But for the ones who walked in, it was never as sticky as for the ones who actually arrived online. Do you know what I mean? Like somehow people will walk in and they'll sort of hear about it and you'll talk about it, but relatively rarely would we get like a real space transition to a person who would actually turn up in the scrums. Whereas I don't know, there's something about being in the anyway. I don't know what that means necessarily. But I think it would certainly be, there's kind of, you have to kind of like, people have to hear about things from like 4 different locations about 10 times before they will think about trying it. So anyway, tell me how else other things are with you before I go.
That's fine. I had an hour and a half long pair programming session yesterday with Brian was there, but we had Ed, Gail, and Hakan from the AV102 course.
Great.
And we demonstrated, we were just writing some specs basically, but we demonstrated the GitPong, GitHub Pong method, and we got Ed to pull down Brian's code and write a spec and then push it up again. So that was his first contribution, and I think it's a good thing. We got Gail to commit to do a solo programming session and upload it. She was a little hesitant to contribute in a live pair programming session, so it's cool. I managed yesterday, of course. I did manage to get that update to the AV102 course published, and I also pushed out yet another reminder about the week 4.
Right. And as we discussed, so we've mentioned the project track now in the materials. Great, well done.
Yes. I told them about both in the video and in the text. I said that this is the last theoretical component, and now we're starting a new phase with 2 tracks, one the TA and the projects track, and I was emphasizing the project track a little more.
Excellent. Yes, I mean that's something that's a big to do for. I think for me really on Tuesday is at the same time as I push the MOOC out, I will need to somehow create some sort of system in the AV102 for a second project track.
Also, I noticed that I just jumped into Marian's and Michael's pair programming session yesterday because I was hoping that some of the AV, because I could push that out in that channel. But I noticed they don't record their sessions.
Did they not?
No, because I was on both of them. I know at least Marian's YouTube channel, and I was like, well, where are the, because I know that they do a lot of pair programming.
They do indeed.
Just try to remind them of that, because
I will.
It's a good thing.
I think I mean I noticed actually yesterday I did a little bit of pair programming with Michael after the Scrum yesterday, and I noticed looking at his profile that there were no videos associated with it. I think everybody's just so bashful. This is the problem.
He's a senior member, you know, and he should understand this. So talk to him, you know, that this
Oh
is
yeah,
an important thing.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
He's a great guy, so he'll understand. I mean, there's
Yeah, no. And I was encouraged in the retrospective that he was asking like, oh, so should I be reaching out to people like Sasha? And I say, yes, absolutely.
yes,
That's the thing to do. And I think it's yeah, it's yeah, no,
he's
absolutely.
one of the coolest guys I've ever met. So, how are you? Good.
Yeah, he's a man of few words. Yeah, so we're actually planning a local support retrospective for Friday week, so no, a week today. So yeah, we can bring that up. I'll bring that up before if I see them before then. Okay.
You know, yesterday when I walked in on those two lovebirds, Michael was explaining this space ship.
Oh right.
Yes, and he was very verbal. So it was, there are other sides to
Oh
him.
yes, no,
Just one word,
yeah,
scrums, you know.
yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yes. So, but anyway, so yes, today I just pushed out an encouragement to all our members to actually do pair programming, because it's very important.
Yes.
That we get those new people on board, at least that we provide a possibility for them to do their homework.
Yes.
So hopefully people. I mean, I would love to see some more OSRA pair programming, and I know we do some pair programming in website one. We could do more. So hopefully Sasha or David or Rene, whoever, codes away or something on their own session instead of doing it all solo. But
yes, we'll see. I mean, I think it's I mean, to the extent that there aren't pair programming sessions going on, then that becomes an easy excuse for the AB102ers to say, oh well, I couldn't do it. Really, yeah. I mean, it's they're two sides of the same coin, really, aren't they? It's challenging to know. Yeah, I mean that's the thing that we'll keep working on, I guess. The way to make that stuff that people do. So nothing blocking you. And
no.
And what's your pair programming plans for today?
Today afternoon, late, around 6-7 UTC.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of work to do.
Right. Yeah. Good show. Okay. Well, let's just do me then. So yeah, despite being ill, I mean, I was making some progress on bits and pieces yesterday. Mainly on client stuff for Makers Academy, although I think I really want to make. I mean, I think there's the GitHub sort of API module that we're creating is a prime candidate for going open source quickly and turning that into sessions. I mean, conceivably the stuff I was working on yesterday could have been pair programming sessions open to Agile Ventures, but actually while I'm sick, it's kind of. But so no, I was pleased to get in. I think I saw Ed actually dropped in on Michael and I, and Mikhail also dropped in while I was going through the spaceship. I was helping Michael refactor his spaceship operator related to using the nested attributes in Rails. So that was good. Yeah, and I think I'm going to try and find some time today to push, or at least start going through the 169 course. Which needs to go live on Tuesday. I think Armando and Jonathan are setting me up to asking me to do the Optu course email alert for Monday.
Oh yes, I saw. I asked him yesterday if there were any sign-ups, because he told me that this email was supposed to go out last Monday. I mean,
They seem to be saying like, oh, well, they want to leave it until the last moment to kind of get it to go out to as many people as possible. I mean, to be honest, I think you could just send it out once and then send it out again later on. But anyway, I mean,
that's what I would have done, actually.
I'm to be honest, I'm in a kind of a very what's the word? Opposite of proactive. I'm kind of in a sort of a somewhat passive mode in terms of managing the MOOC and all these things, and just because I'm having to take a very proactive mode in terms of running the pre-course for the online pre-course for makers and so on. But no, I'm sort of doing stuff, but it's sort of I'm aware there's a lot of things with the MOOC. Like I could have been proactively tweeting and Facebooking the MOOC for the last month, but it's just sort of I don't have the bandwidth for it in terms of all the different responsibilities that I have.
Absolutely.
But that's partly. I mean, what I'm hoping to do with the OptiCourse thing is pull you and Sempriti and Michael into a more active role. In that, I mean, in principle, this thing that Jonathan and Armando are passing on to me at the moment could be passed on to you, and then I mean, in future runs, you could take, like get more involved in the strategy for advertising OptiCourse and these guys. Anyway, I mean, we'll. I think it will. I think it will evolve effectively. The other thought that I had, there's maybe a crazy thought, was I thought that AV 102 could run again in between. Like we could run it again prior to the start of the part 2. I mean that would sort of mean running it over the holidays. Which I don't know if it necessarily makes so much sense, but we've kind of almost got the AV 102 down so that it's relatively straightforward. I mean, and I think also it's sort of its shelf life. The longer it goes before being rerun, the more changes it needs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
In terms of, I guess we'll see how many more people it brings to Agile Ventures through the, like as a result, people actually take part in the project track and the TA track. But anyway, it was just an idea that I wanted to throw out that it could be, we could rerun it, in between the two things in principle for training up new TAs and recruiting them for the part 2 of the MOOC. I don't know what you think about that.
I could be down for that. I have no problem.
Yeah. Yes. So there was that one, and then there's so many different things going on in my head. But so we'll just talk about other things that are coming up. So yeah, I'll be on Atlantic Scrum today, off for the weekend, and then next week. So we've got on the Wednesday. I'm sort of we're going to have our AV general thing on I forgot what it's called now on onboarding. Hopefully, and we'll see how that goes. And I have a mind to maybe try and use an enterprise Google Hangout so we can possibly fit 15 people in there, because anyway, maybe it's worth another try to see if it doesn't randomly eject people every 15 minutes. But yeah, I think that's about the size of it. Anything else that we need to coordinate? I mean, obviously you want to have a client meeting. I'll let you just we'll try and do that off the back of a Scrum when you have more time.
Yes. Well, are you home today or what?
I'm at home today. I mean, it's possible that I might be able to do it off the back of the Atlantic Scrum, but we'll see.
Yes, and if you yes, okay, all right. Because if you could, I mean, if there's any possibility around the Euro Scrum, that would be the best thing for me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But if you're like really busy with other stuff, just don't think about it. It's not
okay. Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, maybe if I don't attend the Euro Scrum, but if you ping me after the Euro Scrum, then maybe we could do it like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I got you.
So just ping me on Slack after the Euro Scrum, and we'll see if I've got a few minutes to do that. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool.
And then was there one other thing I'm thinking about? Well. Yeah, no, that's.
Yes, I was also talking to Brian about you and me and him needs to sit together and talk about this events thing. But I recruited Renee to work with me on the events epic.
Okay. Good.
So him and I will have a first initial meeting when I talk him through the whole stuff on Saturday. Haven't set the time for that yet.
Okay.
We are planning to clean up the pivotal tracker from a lot of different stories that because it's a little mess on that level as well.
Yeah, sure.
So but I will present you with a plan for that.
Good.
But basically, you and I are in agreement because me and Brian are not on the same page exactly. In terms of where. If the Hangout Connection app is allowed, would be allowed to create instances of events.
Mm-hmm.
I argue that it's better to do it, in our app first, then start to Hangout, and then update those instances. As long as you and I are on the same page on this.
Yeah, that seems like the more sensible thing, in as much as the website, the connection thing can fail, and then we have no evidence of that someone even tried to do that, which is, and they can't then, for example, manually update it as an override. Basically, we become hostages to the whims of that particular Google Hangout plugin.
Yes, and then there are other problems, as I see, but without going into too many details. But just one curiosity is that the length of the Hangout that we store today in our database is the length of the Hangout itself, not the broadcast.
Okay.
Do you understand? There's a difference.
Right. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. So there's the recorded YouTube video, and then there's how long the actual hangout took place. Yes.
Yes.
And they're both valid pieces of data to store.
Yes. Yes. So so it's not that as easy as just having that up to, because the information is changing all the time. For instance, who attended the Scrum?
Yes, it changes over the course of the Scrum, but of course, in terms of displaying who attended, it should be the sum of all sets of people that were there.
For instance, yes.
Not the, well, I mean, I think that's what it should be. Bottom line, in terms of representing, like in a vision of what Agile Ventures, the site, should show about, Euroscrum happened, and I think it is really of very little interest to anybody, whether somebody had to drop out halfway through or someone came in halfway through. What's kind of interest and what we need to display is these were the 5 people who were in attendance for at least some period through the Scrum. Yeah.
Then somebody could argue about corner cases, somebody just dropping in and out, but these are just
right. But there's no big loss for us. No. For showing that thing. I think we need to err on the side of, in particular, if somebody even just dropped in and out, then the point about seeing the Scrum, that was a person, you then have stats to say, oh, this, sometimes you'll occasionally see this person at that Scrum. I mean, either which way, from the way that the update works, it's only going to refresh and send back information to us at the maximum every minute or so. So if someone drops in for 30 seconds and then drops out again, the system won't pick them up. So I would say that basically, if they're there long enough for the system to pick them up, having been there, then we should just.
Then we should have, yes. And also, we're gathering a lot of data for the statistics that we want to showcase.
Yeah.
So we want to know how many people were in Scrums, because we will showcase that later on.
Yeah. I mean, I would say compared to all of those things, though, we do this issue of the SSL thing is quite a serious one. That what it does is that it means that our experienced Scrum Masters and so on are all set up and they can run Scrums, but it means that it's a roadblock on anybody who wants to take over as a Scrum person. I mean, I guess to the extent that we're scaffolding. Anyway, I should let you go. We'll chat again today, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Take it easy, Sam.
All right, bye for now.
Okay.
Okay, you too.
All right.
Thomas. Bye for now.